Welcome to Be Frank Crypto. Today we're going to be discussing what proof of work and proof of stake blockchains are. Let's jump into it. Proof of work and proof of stake are the two main consensus mechanisms presently being used by blockchain projects. When Bitcoin was created in 2009, they needed to figure out a means to verify transactions without the involvement of a third party. To achieve this, they employed a consensus mechanism called proof of work to allow networks to agree on which transactions are valid. Proof of work is based on networks users' capacity to prove that a computational task is accomplished. To answer a mathematical equation, some computing power known as a node is employed, and once the equation is solved, a new block on the chain is validated. A node is any physical device like a personal computer that can receive, send, or forward data within a network of other tools. The solver that answers a mathematics puzzle the fastest will create a cryptographic link between the current and previous block and earn some freshly minted crypto coin. This process is known as mining, and the solvers are known as miners. It is through their combined efforts that a blockchain is kept secure for all parties involved. Moreover, the computational task of solving this puzzle itself is called proof of work. Proof of work does have its pros and cons. The pros are that the network is kept secure because defrauding the chain would require a malicious actor to take over 51% of the network's computing power. If a blockchain gets forked in a proof of work system, miners must choose whether to move to the newer forked blockchain network or continue supporting the original blockchain. A miner would have to split their computational resources between the two sides of the fork in order to support both blockchains. As a result, through an economic incentive, proof-of-work systems naturally prevent constant forking and urges the miners to pick the side that does not wish to harm the network. The cons for proof-of-work blockchains could be quite costly and inefficient in terms of resource uses. Miners must cope with a variety of expenses, including the latest equipment that quickly wears out. Mining tends to produce a lot of heat and could rack up exorbitant electricity, depending on the location of the miner. Furthermore, the system's transactions fee soar when the network becomes overloaded. Some proof-of-work blockchains worth mentioning are Bitcoin, Litecoin, Monero, and the newly hyped-up Caspa, just to name a few. Proof-of-stake is the other main consensus mechanism that blockchains use. In 2011, a new approach was proposed to address the inefficiencies of the proof-of-work consensus mechanism and lower the amount of computational resources required to run the blockchain network. Instead of performing tangible work, this concept is based on the existence of a verifiable stake in the ecosystem. To put it another way, to validate transactions on the crypto network, a user only needs to show that they own a particular quantity of cryptocurrency tokens that are native to the blockchain. This type of consensus mechanism used by blockchain networks to achieve distributed consensus is called the proof-of-stake consensus mechanism. For instance, miner A stakes 30 coins, miner B stakes 50 coins, miner C stakes 75 coins, and miner D stakes 15 coins. Miner C would be giving priority to write and validate the following block in this case. In contrast to the block reward and proof of work, miner C will collect transaction fees, network fees, etc. In the proof-of-stake network, miners do not compete for the right to add blocks. Rather than being mined, the blocks are frequently referred to as minted or forged. More nodes in a network help governance norms that provide a stronger immunity to centralization. In proof-of-stake systems, this is made possible by a higher degree of hardware independence. As a result, proof-of-stake is frequently seen as the consensus algorithm least likely to lead to network centralization. Proof-of-stake does have its pros and cons. The pros are that they are far more scalable than proof-of-work-based systems, and transactions are approved much faster. Scalability means that the system achieves higher transactions per second than specific current systems by changing the system's parameter or altering its consensus mechanism. Proof-of-stake network achieves scalability by establishing a consensus before blocks are constructed, which allows for the processing of thousands of requests per second with less than a millisecond latency spike. The cons are that the network is still subject to dominance by most significant shareholders. This means that if majority of the coins staked are held by a few entities, the network can be controlled or centralized than any other proof-of-stake blockchains. Some proof-of-stake blockchains worth mentioning are Ethereum, Cardano, Solana, and Algorand, just to name a few. The critical distinction between proof-of-work and proof-of-stake blockchain is how they delegate and reward transaction verification. Other differences to note is speed, centralization, and security. There you have it, folks. I want to know which consensus mechanisms you like best in the comment section. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell to get updated on all my new videos, and as always, just be frank.